I'm a little disappointed in Joe for not having the glasses and the hair was the look,
We're
and
live.
then you changed
We're
it.
live,
I
guys.
know.
All right, we're live.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Triple Clowns at Degen Nation. We have a great show for you. Bri Mott will be joining us later, but we are going over the late pick four at Saratoga for tomorrow's card. It's a big day at Saratoga. And of course, you have the beautiful G. Randall Johnson, the exceptionally beautiful Sarah Marie, and of course, the stunning truck stop burrito AJ Ryder is with us. And of course, you see below us, we have Joe Moran, which tomorrow's going to be a huge day for him. So we're excited to have you on our show. Joe from Edge Racing and My Racehorse, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, so everybody knows Joe's in the first race here that we're going to talk about with Yes This Time. And Joe, we're happy to have you here. He's part of Edge Racing. And Joe, thanks for coming on. This is Joe Moran, and we're going to talk. And before anybody, out there knows, Edge Racing is a syndicate. How many owners of this horse that's going, Joe?
So right now on this horse, we only have 6 owners actually in this. We had 10 available units. We sold 10 shares at 10%. I was hoping, Sarah, sorry to backtrack, but I was hoping for a little beautiful introduction there. How did I get left out of that?
That was messed up.
She nailed it.
She
nailed it.
I got thrown to the bottom.
Well, we have the very, very beautiful, too beautiful to actually be with us, really. So it's an honor.
But it's
Joe Moran.
But Joe, it's given that you're beautiful. So we have to state it with us.
Yeah.
We already know with you.
Definitely with AJ, right?
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
But Joe's here. Join us in the first one. Bri just jumped in and out, so she'll be back in a second, I'm assuming. But we're going to talk about this first race with Yes This Time. And before we get into it, everybody out there, and any questions about Yes This Time, here's the guy to ask if you have any questions. And because, Joe, this horse is a horse. Tell us a story about Yes This Time, how you got him, and then we'll get into the race, because I think this is an interesting thing. This horse has won, 7 out of 8, I think, or something, 6 out of 7?
Yeah, 6 of 8.
6 of 8, and you claimed him. How did that happen? And we'll talk about his chances.
Yeah, so after he broke his maiden on December 5th, this is kind of right around when we launched Edge Racing in November of 2020. We were on the lookout with no real sales at that time of the year. We were just looking for private acquisitions and came around this horse, which ultimately the play was he was a horse that had plenty of conditions, and we thought he was a horse that we could take advantage of those conditions with. So after some negotiating, we finally got a deal done and was able to acquire him. I believe that it was like the day after Christmas, I remember, because it was an exciting Christmas for me getting this horse, and it was the second horse we acquired for this program. So we sent him over to Gulfstream with Kelly Breen with that starter allowance condition. He ran into Mirror Mission, who's actually a very solid allowance horse, has been competing in the New York circuit recently, and very solid horse. They ran 134-2 that day when he ran 4th. And really, it was kind of a quick turnaround for him. He had a bad start that day, so we were not disappointed at all. And then since then, I mean, he's done nothing but win for us. So obviously, we've had nothing to complain about. He's won from on the lead, sitting right off the pace, and also from dead last. So he's overcome a lot, and I think that's the biggest thing for him. And ultimately, this race is no easy race here on Saturday. But we thought he was willing of the chance. So, super excited. The horse couldn't be doing any better. And we're excited to see what he can do against the best tomorrow.
Absolutely. And we're going to get into that race real quick with you, Joe. We're going to ask you about his chances and everything like that. We're having Bri jump on right now and let her catch up to speed. Hey, Bri, how you doing?
Good, guys. What's up?
What's up? We see you got
Bri
Joe
coming at us live from Saratoga.
Love it.
I know. And everyone's favorite analyst, Andy Serling, is chatting it up, so I don't know how my sound is. So I'll mute if I'm not talking, but if it's terrible, I will pass it over to you guys. Let me know.
You sound fine. It sounds fine. You are no Andy Serling, but who is? Well, welcome, Bri. We're just talking to Joe Moran down there. I don't know if you see him. We're talking Yes This Time real quick before we get into the race. And he was just giving us a story about how they acquired Yes This Time and how he's doing. Yes This Time. No love, Joe, in this race. And we're talking about the 3-year-old Saratoga Derby. For 3-year-olds, grade 1. No love on 15-1. I know you're surprised by that, Joe, a little bit, because we talked about this. Yeah, what's he done wrong? Really?
He hasn't done anything wrong. Obviously, from a class standpoint, this is going to be the biggest test of his career, and I think that's why you're seeing that. seeing that we have 4 or 5 invaders from Europe, they're going to get the obvious attention. Maybe he was thinking more we were going to be around the 10-1 just off his recency and consistency. I mean, in the end, from a number standpoint, when you look at sheets, maybe just a tick off, but not crazy far. And I think that last race, that 79 buyer, was definitely affected from the soft going and the time of that race. So I think you can put a little asterisk by that race. And if you watch the replay, he broke on top, ends up almost dead last, overcomes that trip. And in the English Channel, he gets slammed at the gate, comes from dead last, a trip that he's never had before. So he's just a horse that's overcome everything. So why not? Obviously, this is, like I mentioned, the toughest competition he's ever faced. So he's going to have to run the best race of his career. And we know that going in, but I don't think there's any reason that's saying, why can't he do it?
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, I was going to say that. I mean, this is a horse, obviously, and I don't think we've ever talked about this. We might have, Joe. But he's not a great training horse. He's not a big practice player. And so everybody out there knows, don't look at those and think anything. This horse shows up.
Yeah.
But, okay, so let's give an insider info, Joe, for everybody. What's the strategy here with him? Are you sending him or what?
Well, I think that's going to be the great thing. Getting Saez, I mean, I don't think there's anyone better that you want on your horse right now. He's riding lights out. When you really look at this pace dynamic of the race, there is not much speed. I think Celis will probably be the speed of the speed. But I imagine we're going to try to get a stalking trip maybe right off of him. And it's going to be ultimately depending what everyone else does. But I think you're going to see us forwardly place here just naturally. He's a horse that is aggressive. He's competitive, so he'll naturally put himself in that position pending a clean break. And sitting there, if you put him there, he's going to compete. So ideally, I don't necessarily want him on the lead, but I think he'll be right close on.
Yes, and to answer Joe out there, not you, Moran, the other Joe, they don't wear togas while they race. Okay, so thanks for that question, though.
And we're togas
Awesome.
to the Toga Derby.
Yeah.
It should maybe.
No, but that's interesting, Joe, because you're right. I mean, we'll talk about this a little more when we get into it. But I listen, I'm going to play it. I'll tell you right now, because this horse can run on broken glass, I think, and still run. How do you go against this horse? 15-1, give me it. And that's not even really being a homer here, as much as I want this horse to win for us and you, especially. But I like that horse. I just think it's a tough horse. And what a good purchase. If this horse wins this, Joe, you look like a genius. I mean, listen, you're going to have a lot of time to make people know, like, you're not a genius. And I'm just kidding. Joe is very smart. But wow, your owners must be ecstatic. Chance for it's $1 million race, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So and it's been quite a ride for them even to this point. I mean, having people travel across the country to Gulfstream, even for, an overnight stake race, the excitement they got from there. I mean, when the gate opened that day, we were sitting there saying, oh boy, we traveled a long way for this. We're in trouble. He overcomes that. So same thing. We had a big group at Delaware. It's just been quite the ride. So even to be in this race and get the invite to this race, I think just speaks volumes for itself. And to think he was in a maiden 30, 8 months ago is pretty incredible.
Yeah, it's funny because he ran this bad number at Delaware, and he comes back like almost a year to the date later and comes back and dominates at Delaware. So take that, Tom. No, I don't know why I said take that, Tom, like he was voting for the horse. But Bri, I know you might be chomping on the bit. Any questions about Yes This Time before we let Joe go?
Oh, no, I'll be putting money on that thing. I got no questions now.
Thank you.
There you go. All right, Joe. Well, thank you. I know you're busy, obviously, and I'll see you next week. Anything for Joe, guys? Anything before he goes?
No, but huge good luck this weekend.
Absolutely.
I know all
Thank
eyes
you.
are going to be on this
Perfect.
horse. We're excited for you guys, so
Awesome.
fingers crossed.
Yeah, we'll
Thanks,
be out here
guys.
in Delaware, and we'll be in the winner's circle too. We'll see you there.
Yeah, perfect. And Bri, I'll see you at Saratoga.
All right.
Joe's just like later.
I know. Yeah, just like, get me
So
out
that
of here.
that was Joe Marion. That was fun. We got a little insider info, I guess, in the first race, what they're going to do with Yes This Time. So, Bri, welcome. We didn't introduce Bri yet.
No, we kind of did really quickly, but yes, we got Bri Mott on. She is coming to us live from Saratoga. You guys have a big weekend up at Saratoga for Degen Nation, so very exciting. So let's why don't we get into it? We're going to do the late pick for Saturday's card, which does include the Toga Derby and, of course, the Whitney. But let's start off. We got race 9 kicking off our pick 4 here, which I said is the Toga Derby. It's a grade one, $1 million at stake here. We got a mile and 3/16 on the turf. This is for 3-year-olds and up. AJ, would you like to start us off?
I suppose. I guess the first horse I'll talk about is the 7 Secret Protector. This is a horse in 6 career starts, has never missed the board, including that huge win at Meydan Racecourse at this distance that we're about to go. This horse seems very strong as one of the invaders coming in. 6-1 is just a big price there that I really want to hopefully capture. The 6, who right now is a favorite, I believe at 2-1, coming over from England, winning the Belmont Derby in style. Again, favorite, rightfully so. 7 starts, 4 wins. Cannot leave him off the ticket. And then this one is a little bit more personal to me, strictly because this horse won me a shit ton of money on Kentucky Derby Day. And that is the 2 Du Jour. Correct. The former Baffert horse, who's still owned by Baffert, which is kind of
We talked about
idea. The story there is interesting.
Yeah,
So,
is he really not training the horse at this point? Right?
Yeah, that's curious. Did they move him so he could run at Belmont?
Of course.
But I feel like Baffert's got a hand in here, and if Baffert's got a hand in here, and you got Rosario on, the distance is a little bit of a concern for me, just because of the last time this horse lost was obviously at a distance a little bit closer to this one. It seems to really kill it at a mile and 16. So it was a little bit farther, but I think the horse has got it in them. 8-1 is a great price to pay. And I know Joe Moran is really excited about his Boxing Day acquisition. And yes, this time, but 15 so, rightfully so. Joe, I'm sorry. Good luck to you, but I can't play it.
All right.
Wow. All right.
All right. I'm actually, I'm kind of surprised, but that's more my angle than yours. The "what have you done bad lately" angle. That's more me than
well.
you.
I a horse that's spent most of its time in winning in Gulfstream and Delaware, and now comes to, I don't know, the big show in Naira. I just can't get behind it.
Okay.
Not a fan of Florida horses coming up.
All right.
Yeah, you've always said that too.
But on the turf, if you can run in Florida, you could run on a pavement literally full of broken beer bottles, because I think that's actually the turf there. So
could be.
So you're not used to actually running a nice turf, so that's my.
It could be true. It could be right. It could be right.
I mean, they call it the spa, so it's going to be nice.
Sort of. Well, Bri can attest to that. All right, Bri, do you want to get your opinion?
I was just gonna say that the turf looks phenomenal from this view. So turf is stat here at the spot. So also, full disclosure, I'm not gonna lie, I'm letting you guys down. I did the late pick 4 for today's card, so in case you want to go through that, I'm ready. But while you're doing all that, I just pulled the PPs, so I'll play ball here. So late pick 4, what are we starting at? Race 9? No, we're starting.
Yep.
Race 9.
Okay. All right. You guys go, and I'll have something to add to shortly.
All right.
Absolutely. And for everybody out there, when we do it the day before, because people have asked. It's because we used to just tape our show at this time. So we figured we'd just do it live so people could interact with us instead of us just taping it and half the time just yelling at each other and having to edit it.
And you have a good 24 hours to really
watch
the replays, get ready.
All right, so let's go. I'll go into
have?
it then. So I'm going to go right into it there. I'm going to go with, I did see in race 9, I mean, the 6, I'm sorry, I know it's dead chalk, but the 6, I mean, this looks like a perfect distance for this horse. I mean, and the numbers on this horse don't lie. Second start over here might just be the best horse in the race. Second start over here is great. It's another one I always like to go to. So I can't leave out the 6. That's Bolshoi Ballet, I believe. Bolshoi Ballet. It's probably a famous thing that I'm pronouncing wrong, I'm sure.
Bolshoi.
Bolshoi Ballet.
The bullshit ballet.
Bullshit ballet.
I'm going
It's
with
kind of like a stripper, isn't it?
Yeah, and then I'm going to go, and I am going to go with the 5. And I really think I would have played this horse anyway, because if you give me a horse at 15-1, that's what, 6 out of 8, 6 in a row, or whatever it is. I have to play the horse until this horse does something wrong. AJ, I think you have a good point with whatever it is, but I also see somebody who has a different jockey on his back all the time, runs at different tracks all the time. So we'll see. Is it stepping up in class and doing whatever? But this horse seems tough. Doesn't like to practice. This is like the Allen Iverson of horses. You know what I mean?
Talking about practice.
You talk about practice. So I have to play his horse, and I would either way. Do I think it should be 2-1 or 3-1 when I was saying it? No. But 10-1, I think, would be more honest with the horse has done nothing wrong. And we don't know about these invaders. And are we still allowed to call them invaders? Wasn't that?
What did we came up with something?
No, they said it was something we should call them instead because it was.
Screw it. I'm sticking with invaders. We're going old school.
Yeah, because I'm woke.
I like it.
Gee, I said it again.
Immigrants?
No, that's no. There's a lot of things that I feel
refugees?
like
Refugees? I mean, we take them in and put them in a barn. Well, that's terrible.
Wow.
Well, they're coming over here for political asylum and racing, so I feel like that's a refugee.
From England, that makes a lot of sense. But shipping in, Anyway, this turned bad.
Okay,
all right, so
I'm gonna go with the invaders here, and I'm just gonna take a stab. And again, like I'm flash capping at this point, but I really do like. I'll call them imports is what I prefer, and I like to see that they've gotten one North American race before I put money on them. But Madacat Stables, Soldier Rising, Christophe Clement, obviously I think does very well at Saratoga. I do think it takes him a little while to heat up, so this is about the time that I think his stable starts heating up. So I would throw money on Soldier Rising. What I don't like is I can't see like where this horse was relative to like the fractions. Like did it come out? I don't know. At least in the form, maybe I'm missing it, but I can't see too much there. But I would question Soldier Rising. I know Madacat and Saul Kuman, they are due. They have second-itis right now, and they want a win very bad. And so what if this is the win?
Thank you, Bri, because that was my third pick was Soldier Rising. You led me right into that. That was not planned. I agree. Clement grabs this horse. This horse is here with Clement. And, the first time, a lot of things are there, first time, but been here a little bit of a while. First time over here. And he's throwing him in deep waters right away. So I think there's something to that. And so I have to play that horse. We don't know a lot of things about these imports, let's say, for Bri's sake, imports. And so that's one of the things I'll look at. Clement grabs him, puts him in deep waters. We don't know enough about what happened to these races, let's be honest. So I have to put that on the ticket. So I'm going to put the dead chalk import with the American horse that I think might have the puncher's chance because of whatever, and the flyer import. So I'm going to go 951, but 159, I guess how you'd say it.
6.
Who's the 6? Oh, 6. Sorry.
He is 156.
6, 156. I have the 9th race, and I read 9 because I put race 9, and I read the 9.
Good job.
All
right.
Too late. You're on state of rest.
There you go. Yeah.
Now the horse will win.
It's too late. Yeah.
I know. Now the 9's going to win this race. All right. So Randy has 156. I went 3 deep here. I did take yes this time. I also took another horse that I have the same argument for both of these horses. I took the 8 as well, Cellist at 12-1. Both of these horses are horses that it seems like whatever they throw at these horses, whether it be distance, going up in classes, these horses seem to do very well. The 8 horse Cellist and his last out at Belmont at the beginning of July did come in third to the 6, which is why I feel like to me the 6 is kind of hard to leave off your ticket. So I am playing the 6. But both the 5 and the 8, I just feel like these horses are just getting better. And whatever they throw at these horses challenge, and they do very well. So for these prices, we have the 5 at 15-1 and the 8 at 12-1. I'm going to play that then with the 6 at 2-1.
All right. And is that how you say it? Cellist or it's not cellist? I thought it was
Cellist.
Like a cello player?
Yeah, like a cello player.
Or a cell player. Like a microbiologist.
All right, Bri, what do you got here?
Cell player.
Cell player.
I don't know.
So I would definitely include one in my mix, and depending on how big this ticket gets for me, I always like insider information and grabbing onto a hope. So yes, this time I would include as well. But the 6 fell short. Well, I don't know how to say it, but there is a Netflix series or something, and it's a Russian ballet where these like girls, it's like the top ballet ever. So in case anybody has to care to watch that, I would include the 6 as well. Aiden O'Brien. I just have a love for imports, especially. I don't know. I have such a love for imports with turf races, obviously, as everyone should. So,
Yeah,
I agree.
And we got some backup on the Soldiers Rising, that Frankel horse, and that's our guy that does European stuff out there. He did say that it's a Frankel horse, and they've been doing really good. So there's another angle, I guess, on Soldiers Rising that you only learn here. And he also put bullshit ballet, because that's what we're going to call it.
The 6 is bullshit ballet. All right. Let's move on to the Whitney. I know we've gotten a few comments in the comment section or questions in the comment section about the Whitney. So let's get into it. This is race 10. This is a win and you're in for the Classic. It's the Grade 1 Whitney. We got a mile and an 1/8 with $1 million at stake. So AJ, who are you taking here in the Whitney?
I think it's pretty simple. Not a Knicks Go fan. Swiss Skydiver is way too streaky for me. Like, she either puts up a massive effort and wins, or she doesn't and just looks not great. So Maxfield, Silver State, who, again, you want to talk about a horse that's done nothing wrong, has won like 7 in a row, 6 in a row, including up here in New York, down at Oaklawn. 4-1. Silver State is a great price. I'm going to take that all day long. So I'm going to go 2-5. Pretty simple.
All right. No, I like what you're saying. I'm not a Knicks Go fan either, and that makes me not a Silver State fan that much, quite honestly. And it is one of the horses never done anything wrong. I just think Maxfield is so much the best here. I really do. I think this is a horse that's just that good. Let's throw out his
what does Knicks Go and Silver State have in common that makes you not a fan of him if he's
because didn't Silver State run down?
Silver State ran down by my standards.
By my standards, sorry. But I just Silver State is just that horse that kind of like Knicks Go was, where you were on a streak, but you weren't running against the best. You know what I mean? And the numbers with Silver State are, if we throw up big numbers, I'd be like, okay, it's really not. Which I understand. And if I played a second horse, it would be Silver State here. And Swiss is just a wild card. But I just think Maxfield's that good. I think Maxfield is that good. I mean, let's forget about California. This horse is undefeated. And if Express Train was in this race, we'd be talking about him right now.
I agree with that statement.
As a winner. So, I mean, I just think he's the best horse in the race. I know this is a terrible race to talk about, 5 horses. Shame on Whitney. That sucks, but I'm just going to go straight Maxfield. I'm going to single Maxfield. I'm going to be smart here. Single Maxfield. I mean, yeah, we play the all button here. It's not going to cost you much. But single Maxfield, if I had to throw 2 out, I throw out by my standards and I throw out Knicks Go. And that's what I would do. Just because it's hard to throw out Swiss.
Well, because you never know when she's going to run that big effort and win. So, yeah, exactly. I honestly, she'd be my third choice too here.
Hang on, guys. Like, and I totally get what you're saying. And I'll say, like, if you look at her numbers, it's almost like she's got like lights out, bounce. That if I had a horse that their bounce figure was a 99, shit, that's not bad at all. And if you look at her races, I mean, she's grade 1 after grade 1 after grade 1. So you all are sitting on these horses that have been in grade 2s and 150K, Silver State, 500,000 F6. Ugh, who cares? You're gonna bash Swiss Skydiver.
Oh no, we're not bashing.
The boys are.
We're bashing.
I mean, a little.
The boys are hating on the girls.
I don't like she doesn't have a race.
It's like saying like you don't like your voice. You only say that about females. You never say that about a male.
Yeah, that's it. I basically was like,
Bri is calling you guys
out. She's a girl. She's not gonna beat the boys.
I mean,
she has before. Like, yeah, we get it. Like, but I can't trust her. Saratoga.
I know, and I actually appreciate all the thoughts because I was a Knicks Go fan until you guys said I'm not a Knicks Go fan, and I'm like, well, why? And then I look down and I compare, and I'm like, I get it. So I do think I'm agreeing. I think Maxfield is the best horse in the race, but I don't think you can discount Swiss Skydiver the way that you are. Like Maxfield had a grade 2, a grade 2, a grade 1 before that and got third. I mean, Swiss Skydiver has shown up literally in every single one of her races. Well, okay, maybe the disc stuff, but I don't, we got a new job. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, well, listen, Swiss Skydiver beat the horse of the year last year, the classic winner. Like, okay, I mean, right there's enough to think she can beat these horses. Of course. Of course. I don't like it without the race under her belt. And Monomoy Girl's not in this race where she apparently does not like to run against Monomoy. So,
Yeah, no.
And I think fillies do better with a longer layoff. I think that they just do. So I wouldn't discount her. I don't know that I would bet the bank on Swiss Skydiver here, but I will say Preakness, I was kind of a skeptic and she proved me wrong, and obviously that was amazing. I agree with Maxfield, but I think Swiss Skydiver should be highly rated here, almost more than your Silver State there, AJ.
Yeah. So, AJ, why don't you tell Bri how you think Swiss Skydiver should run straight from the gate into the kitchen and make you dinner?
Oh, wow.
Go ahead, AJ.
Whoa, why were you putting that on me?
Whoa, yeah. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. So,
He texted me. He texted me that while you were talking.
Twitter, take
This
that
is
and run with it, guys.
slander, man. This is
Yeah.
slander.
I was just kidding. AJ didn't text me that, and he wasn't going to say that. I was just trying to
oh,
cause a
goodness.
controversy.
Wow.
Yeah. So Bri's on Swiss as well as Max.
Yeah, so you Swiss and Max, is that your plays here?
Yep.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, my heart goes out to By My Standards. I really like that horse, but with the grade 1 7th and then 8th before that, this is too good of a field to have numbers like that on occasion, and so I gotta bet against that one. And yeah, you guys are taking me off Nick's Go. So if this thing wins, I'm telling Brad Cox on all of you.
Well, that's probably gonna. You do realize that, right?
And you guys.
I'm betting Nick's go at this point. I'm sorry.
Well, in spite of hitting the all button, I went 3 deep. Maxfield, of course. I was kind of talking to Randy last night about Maxfield. If he's already has a spot in the Classic, are they maybe just going to run him?
You don't.
Just food for thought, though. I don't think they are. Maxfield's too good of a horse. I am playing Silver State as well. This is a horse I agree with everything AJ was saying about him. He's a horse that just can do no wrong. Yes, he has raced against, he dominated the last race, beating By My Standards. He's raced against Express Train. I think he's a good, for the price, good to play with Maxfield. And I'm with Bri here on Swiss. I was going to play Swiss as well. She's competed against the boys successfully before. Yeah, she's a bit over the map, but like Bri was addressing, if you look at her pattern, this is her time to win.
Mm-hmm. She definitely can.
So, yeah, she can. It's not a problem whether she can or can't, but Maxfield is just much the best horse, but I'm going 3 deep in a 5-horse field. My luck By My Standards is going to win at this point, but 2, 3, and 5, I've been off Nick's Go for a while. By My Standards, he's just too much of a wild card with the strength of this field.
Yeah. And N2 Deep in LA, we did break down race 9, so you need to fix your alarm clock and get up a little earlier, all right, buddy? And but really, yeah, you can watch it again. We'll talk about it probably later when we recap it. But we did break it down, and we had an owner of one of the horses on, so you really missed out there.
We brought you a lot of good content, and you should play.
Thanks a lot, buddy. No, actually, he's a big supporter of a big Degen guy.
N2 Deep's always a big supporter of Degen Nation. We appreciate that. But yep, so those are our picks for the Whitney. That's how kind of we see the field playing out. Let's move on.
No one picked By My Standards, by the way. So
I do like Joe's comment too. The smaller the field, the bigger the upset that he had a little bit a while ago. Because I think he's spot on. I think that's especially in a race like this when all these horses are really, all these horses are good.
Yeah,
I don't think there's anyone that can't win this race, honestly. And I think with 5 horses, and not to mention, we get one to scratch. Well, shit. Then you might as well go all.
Battle. There's no excuses. You're all going head to head unless you're the fastest.
You can make a decent case for all 5 of these horses.
Absolutely.
Really.
It wouldn't be a shocker if any of them won, really.
Right.
All right, let's move on.
All right, let's go on to race 11, which is allowance optional claimer for $105,000, a mile and an 8 on the dirt. AJ, who do you like here?
What do you mean even AJ and Bri?
I know.
Why are we locked out there, or why were we like lumped out there?
They single.
Hey, I'll take it. I don't care. Beggars can't be choosers.
Bri's like, shit, whatever. AJ's all offended now.
That's funny.
Kind of a little bit.
All right.
All right. So the
let's
horse
move on to race 11. What do you like?
The horse I like the most here, like my favorite by far in this race, is going to be a first-time gelding, a horse that has won a stakes race at Saratoga, and is a former $2 million purchase, and trained by Steve Asmussen, and that's the 8 Chestertown at 8-1. I absolutely love this here. I love that this horse has come to Saratoga, won at Saratoga at this distance, looks really well doing it. First time gelding is I'm hoping that doesn't affect this horse's performance, except for to make it better. 8-1 here. I love it. I absolutely love it. I want to single it, but I'm not going to because there's other horses in here I need to address. I'm throwing out the coupled entry and the 1. I don't like them at all. I believe the who is it? One of these horses here, I mean, has beaten both of these horses every single time it's ever ran. So I have a hard time really going after that. I'm going to go with a horse who I believe was on my Derby top 5 last year at one point in time for no other reason than I liked the name. And that is the 4 Candy Tycoon. I do think this horse has come a long way since we've talked about it on the Derby trail. Has ran against a lot of great horses. Live Your Beast Life, obviously we remember him, from late last year. It's just put up good numbers and went out to Monmouth, had a terrible start there. Won an allowance race there. Comes back now to Saratoga where it's ran well. 12-1. I'll take a shot there. Especially look these big stakes race days. There's always someone who comes in and screws everything up. All your sequences every single time. Like there's no excuse. Like no favorite. Like top 3 choices ever win all 3 races. Candy Tycoon might be that horse because I don't know how overly bet he's going to be, but I really like this horse here at 12-1.
All right.
Am I done? No. So I'm going to keep going with.
We got a single earlier. I thought you might single a horse. I thought you were only going too deep. Sorry.
I kind of want to single. If I were to single anybody here, if it's not going to be like Maxfield and the race prior, it might be Chestertown. But the other one I want to talk about is the 3. I'm going to throw him in there as well because the 3 who looked great in the Withers, which was this distance we're about to run here, went to the Wood, did not have a great trip, and just was a casualty of the 72-1 upset in Bourbonic. Then went to the Preakness. Again, not a great trip. I think if risk-taking, who at this point in its career is going to have matured enough to the point where if it looks anywhere remotely close to what it did last February and has improved like it should have matured in that period of time, because I can excuse the last 2 races it's ran. If this horse continues and looks better, I think this horse is a serious contender, and I think Chad Brown's got some here in risk-taking the 3.
All right. It's funny because somebody did you read that comment that they're about to call you out for not taking the 3 because of yesterday's craziness about Bourbonic. So held up.
Dude, Dennis, give me some time, bro. I gotta build it up.
Because Dennis is on fire right now.
I tried to cut him off from it. Okay. Well, I will say the 4 was my first pick, AJ, with Candy Tycoon. We did talk about this horse before. Second, like Sarge like to say, second time gelded, which I don't know how that makes sense, but second time gelding. He last time had a bad start. I think this horse might be a different horse. And if he gets back to being the horse that was on the Derby trail, I think somebody, it might have been AJ, took him last year in our Derby pool. Somebody took Candy Tycoon.
I'm pretty sure I drafted him in our thing.
Yeah.
He did, yeah.
There was somebody we had on our radar. It's a good horse. Looked good last time. Had a bad start last time. I think this is a different horse. At these odds, have to take him at 12-1. I think that you're exactly right. This is a weird bomb that wouldn't be that surprising if all of a sudden this horse is a new horse that's gelded. So let's look at that. I do like the 1A though, AJ, a lot. The 1A I do like, Musical Heart. I think could sit on a really, really nice trip here with speed up front. And I think this horse isn't a marathoner, tried to be a marathoner, definitely has the distance, but I think this distance is perfect to sit like in that pocket and make a charge at the leader. So I do like the 1A. I'm not crazy with one. Danny, California. I'm not crazy about that one, but I do like the 1A. So give me them both. The 5 I have down is also a possibility because I think he could sit in that speed duel and be okay to come home. So if I did go 3 deep, I would go 1, 4, 5, but I probably will just go 1, 4 because I'm broke.
At least you're honest.
Oh, yeah.
All right. I only went 2 deep here. I like the 7 here a lot. Lost in Rome with Jose Ortiz in the irons. He has raced and won at this distance at Saratoga, and his last ride out at Belmont back on July 9th was actually one hell of a race, really, if you watch the replay of it. He came in second by 3/4 lengths behind Dreams of Tomorrow, but it was just a really great race in the mud. So he performed pretty well. Luckily, knock on wood, supposedly Saratoga is going to be beautiful tomorrow. We'll see. Things have been changing a lot up there weather-wise, but I like the 7 here, 8-1. I'm also with AJ here on risk taking. I agree. Throughout his last 2 races, he's a deep closer. I just think now that he's kind of getting away from having to compete with, Derby contenders and the Preakness, he has a shot here to really see how this horse runs and see if he's getting better. I really like him here at 6-1. I just went 7 on top. I would do 7-3.
All right, 7-3. Bri, did you get enough time to look at this race?
Yeah, I feel like I'm fading all of y'all's picks, so it's either gonna go awesome for me or terrible.
Well, somebody's giving out a winner then.
The 3 I want to like, but I think the rebel in me wants to fade that horse really hard. The only thing that works for me is, the trainer stats on that bottom line the first time. Obviously, Chad Brown does great. I will say whenever I seem to bet the house on him, he doesn't show up. So if I needed to slim my ticket down, I would leave that horse out. I'm definitely on the 1A. I like the 1A a lot. The 1 would just be a freebie, but I don't really like that horse. But the 5 and the 6 are the 2 that I'm taking. Now, I like the 5 a lot. I think last time out, whatever, but it's 1 at this level. It shows up. I like Mike Maker as well. You got Tyler Gaffleone on there. You can't fade him. Early speed, but also can close if need be. I like a horse that's versatile. I think that's this horse. So I would include 5 Empty Tomb, and then Air Attack at 8-1. 42 lengths. But at that point, I think it's over, it's done. You can throw that race out possibly. But it's crazy to see what that horse was up until the new trainer. And then all of a sudden you got a speed figure of a 105. Sketchy, maybe. Make me money? Okay. Then you got 9-7 in the Stud Muffin Stakes, by the way. I would like to run in that Stud Muffin Stakes myself. And won that race. So I would throw that one in the mix for some value. Air Attack as well. Curlin, good breeding as well. So I would do the 5, 6, and the 1A with a 3 is a question mark for me. I don't know. That's what I got.
All right. Well, Bri, you didn't fade me that much. You had 2 of my horses. So
okay, good. I know that I just feel like the talk was on the floor, and I'm like, no, the 4 is out. But now the 4 will win by 20. So, guys.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, they might be Candy Tycoon fans because AJ plays the game on Airplane.
Yeah.
Is that Candy Crush?
That's Candy Crush. Oh, no, they're both. There is both.
Oh, is there both?
Yeah, there is both.
More of a roller coaster tycoon fan.
Oh yeah, see, I don't know.
That was fun.
I want to know what's roller tote, AJ?
What's what?
Roller coaster.
You said
Roller coat tycoon. Yeah. You never played that?
It's kind of like that Danger horse.
It's like roller coaster tycoon, but you make roller derbies.
You right. Roller toting son of a bitch.
Roller tote.
All right.
roller tone burritos. All right, let's
Let's move on to the last race, the final race of Saturday's card, race 12. We have a 5.5 furlong race on the turf, an allowance race for $103,000 for fillies and mares 3-year-old and up.
all right.
AJ,
who you got?
Oh, I'm gonna go first. Wow, that's weird. So I want to say I'm seeing a trend here at Saratoga so far where we get pretty chalky in this last race. I could be wrong, but it does seem to be like I get beat every time thinking I'm going to get a big price in the last race, and then I don't. So I'm going to go pretty low on this one. I kind of like the 6 here. Having its first start in its 4-year-old season after really doing well last year, coming off of good efforts in the stakes race at Aqueduct, and then a big win and an allowance at Belmont, and a second by a nose and allowance at Belmont. Coming back now, I think this horse just might be. I don't know. Hopefully, this wasn't an injury which caused this big long layoff, but if not, then I think this horse is about to just bust out. So the 6 I like. The 7 I'm really a fan of, especially coming off of an allowance win not that long ago, which it just ran July 23rd. So not a lot of time in between races. But if you look back, it has done this quick turnaround before with some success. So the 7 time limit, I think just having won already over this turf, I think is big. Lost by a neck the time out before in Belmont to Too Sexy, who's for place obviously, but still Too Sexy is a pretty solid horse as well. And then to get a little bit of a price, I'll take a shot with Miner's Queen. I don't know if it's much of a shot, but 6-1 Miner's Queen. Again, talking about Too Sexy losing to that horse at Saratoga at this distance on this turf. I think this horse can easily take this. Those seem to be like the strongest 3 in this race, and it's not sexy by any means because there's some low prices, but that's what I'm going to go with. So I'll go 6, 7, 11.
All right, 6, 7, 11. All right, I'm right on the 6. I'm right aboard on the 6 with you right away. And we keep hearing the same thing. And I will say that there's 3 tracks out there, and one's given that you hear horse for the course, right? And Saratoga is one of those 3 tracks. And I think the 3 tracks are obviously Kentucky Downs, because you're running uphill, downhill, sideways, to the left, you stop at the gas station. I don't know. It's crazy there. So that's a given. And Del Mar and Saratoga. Mm-hmm. And Saratoga even more so than Del Mar. If you win at Saratoga, you can win at Saratoga. And it happens. And I do think the 6 is that horse for the course type of thing. AJ mentioned another one as well. I think this is he's tough horse, proven, and he's got IRAD. I got to put him in there at 7-2, even though it's wide open. The next one I'm going to do is 15-1, and that's Train It to Artemis. Train to Artemis. And that's because I just think this horse could absolutely, yeah.
Train to Artemis.
I try to look from here. Artemis. But I think let's throw out the start is last with a bad start, and the start is first turf start. His first race was a turf start. It's going back to the turf. I just think this horse can burn to the lead. And what we do know, and it's a 5.5 furlong race on the turf, and closers do come from behind a lot of times on that compared to like the mile, which is weird. But I do think this horse could go to lead and maybe get loose at 15-1. So I'm going to play the 5 here. With that being said, that I think it's going to be this hot pace with these horses going to the front with the 11 and everything like that. I want a closer, and the only closer I see in this race really is Bay Storm, the 10. And I think this horse can definitely do this, could sit back, have a nice trip with Franco. So I'm just doing that as a closer angle. So I'm going to go 5, 6, 10.
5, 6, 10. All right. I went too deep here. I went back and forth between the 6 and the 7, and I am taking the 7. This is another horse that just recently won at Saratoga on July 23rd. Pretty good looking race, pretty good looking horse. 5.5 furlongs. He's coming back to the same, just up in class. Pretty solid for me. 9-2. I'm with AJ here on this 11 Miner's Queen. He brought up a lot of good points already. Another horse that has raced and at Saratoga, seems to be taking the turf. His speed is very impressive. I do think, he's just going to get to the lead. And if he gets to
He's
the
not
lead,
going to lead.
he's going to let loose.
He's not going to lead.
We'll see.
No way he beats the 5 to the turn.
We'll see.
We'll put a side action on that. There's no way. The 5's a burner.
We'll see.
Trained to Artemis?
Yes.
Trained to Artemis.
It's a burner to the turn. Look at the 2207, 2214. So this horse is going to fly out of the gate. And,
We'll
and
see.
the 11's got to clear.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, how does it do on the turf?
And he's got Jose
You don't
on
know.
him. He's going to hustle him out of the gate and turf. I'm just saying the 11's not going to go lead. That's why I threw him out. He needs the front. He's not going to get it.
Fair enough. Well, I'm taking him.
All right.
I'm going to beat your time to Artemis.
Tell him, Sarah. Tell him.
Train to Artemis is great.
Trained
All
to
right.
Artemis.
All right, Bri, let's tell these guys that they're wrong.
Well, of course they're wrong. So I'm on Miner's team as well, which I think we're all on. I love a good Ricardo Asmussen matchup. The speed figures are there for me. Also, the fact that this horse won at a pretty high level, made in special weight, but then came back and also fought for the win, lost, but still fought. I like to see that in a maiden, especially afterwards. So I would include that one 6-1. Baystorm, I agree that would be that's a maiden that I would go after and see if it could come out strong in the next one. But so the other, I just want that spicy margin for the drink, but not happening this round. I don't like the 7 at all. I'm fade. But I would include the 6. The 6 for me would be an inclusion. I like the speed figures there as well. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of where I am. I actually saw a couple of Jeremiah Englehart's horses on the training track this morning. They all look good. It was kind of cool to see them. But you can't fade IRAD as long as it's a live horse. And this horse is definitely live, and IRAD is always live.
There you go. All
All
right.
right, so 11-6.
I think it's 10, 11, 10, 6. Unless the 10 makes it too much money, and I would get rid of the 10.
Yeah.
Perfect.
All right. 11, 10, 6 there. All right. So let's give out our picks. What are they? What do you got,
Our
Sarah?
late pick 4 at Saratoga Saturday's card. AJ has the 2-7 with the 2-5 with the 3-4-8 with the 6-7-11.
Wrong.
Wrong.
I have 2-6-7 in the first.
Oh, 2-6. I left off the 6. Okay.
6 is a winner.
We're all in the 6, actually. Randy has the 1-5-6 with the 5 with the 1A, 4-5 with the 5-6-10. Bri has the 1-5-6 with the 3-5 with the 1A, 5-6 with the 6-11, or excuse me, 6-10-11. And I have the 5-6-8 with the 2-3-5 with the 3-7 with the 7-11. Those are our late pick for Saturday's Saratoga's card. Starting off, first leg is race 9, which is the Toga Derby.
Which they do not wear togas.
Unfortunately, they don't, which is kind of disappointing, and now I don't even want to bet the race.
Yeah.
That
What's
would be
the
really
point?
drafty.
Total false advertisement there.
Like imagine riding a horse with a toga on, like you just ass would be hanging out like the whole
I would make it a little bit more entertaining.
Like the silks room, there's just all the silks, and there's
Yeah.
like one toga that they gotta wear.
So
for
do you
that
guys,
race.
does everybody have like one cringeworthy college moment that like they're embarrassed that they would never tell their parents? It was a toga party for me.
fact that I got thrown out. That's fine.
I should have gotten thrown out.
You got thrown out of a toga party.
Toga.
Bri Mott, wait. No, I got thrown out of college.
Should have.
I got thrown out of college.
Well, okay. So now that we're here, do tell.
Yeah, but Brittany, you just opened this door. I don't know if you wanted to do that.
Okay, do tell. I can't tell everything, but I will say, like, typical sorority, like, there wasn't enough on that toga to be proud of it. Number one, although super cute, I was cute, but there was not enough toga that you should be wearing it out in public. But we ended up, like, as a group at a friend's house, we'll say. So we slept all at a friend's house. So the walk of shame was real in a toga holding heels. It just wasn't good. It just wasn't. Yeah, don't listen to this, Mom. It wasn't good. So, but I will say, like, and it was like a walk of shame, not the walk of shame that everyone talks about, but I had to get to like an 8 a.m. like horse class because us like most people have 8 a.m. classes. So I'm like literally walking on like the main street while people are taking their kids to school, and I'm in this yellow, not enough toga, holding my heel, being like, "Don't do drugs, kids." Yeah, don't do drugs. Go to school. That's me.
Yeah. Like, see this?
That is awesome.
I don't even know.
That is awesome. We do have Joe's best bet of the day is bullshit ballet. He put up bullshit ballet for Joe.
Which we're all on.
Yeah.
We're all on the bullshit ballet.
If bullshit ballet runs against anal Arab,
That would be the best race ever.
The anal Arab. I can't wait for that horse to come back.
I'm going to sneak this in real fast, though. Let me look at my notes. So I was at the Adelphi this morning capping the late pick for today's card. And I overheard a bunch of, like, obviously professional bettors. And one guy said, I am married to this horse. So, like, the ears go up, and I'm, like, I'm hearing it all. So the horse is in race 9, number 7, Imprimis. And so what he said was, and you'll see in the notes that the horse broke through the gate, and I think the horse got second. Well, the horse came out of the race and was just bloody, like all through its nose. So I think a lot of people thought that the horse bled. It didn't. It literally like cracked its nose through the gate, and the thing still ran and got second. I think it's 3-1 morning line, but you're up against Bound to Nowhere. You're up against a couple, so there could be an odds boost here. So, but take a look at 7 in race 9 Infamous. This dude that he said he's married to this horse. Any guy with that accent who obviously is in the mafia and is married to that horse, I am smashing.
You have to buy it, yeah.
I have that accent, and
I want everyone to know out there, I had picked this horse. You want to know why? It had beaten Extravagant Kid.
There you go. Oh, that's it. That's a big Stauffer AJ rivalry right there. So yeah, all right. Well, there you go. So that's enough for me right there. Those two angles alone. Bet the house
now it'll be like 1-2 with all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
we're
really dropping the odds.
All this money we have bet on.
Also, Bri, what's going on this weekend for you at Degen? I know you guys are doing something. Let everybody know.
Yeah, absolutely. So that whole riff round that you saw was Swift and Shoe. So here's this wait, am I going the right way? Here's this animal. Yo.
Shoe, I need my tape. I need you to record that for me, Shoe.
So I guess I have to hang out with those modes for a little while. But so today, just kind of hanging, floating at the racetrack. And then tomorrow's a new day, obviously a bigger day that we fun excited now for this pick 4 with you guys. And tomorrow night, Degen Nation is having an after party at the Parting Glass. So they have a whole section in the back. There's a pool table, which some people say I'm a pool shark. I don't know. I just like to play and gamble. But yeah, after party at the Parting Glass, and then Sunday another laid back day. I'm actually dragging my uncle from here, so my family is about 45 minutes away in a really small town. So it's cool to bring your family to Saratoga. So he's gonna come on Sunday and have a family day with me. So.
That's awesome.
So there you go. Go check out the guys at Degen and the girls at Degen.
Clearly, don't play pool with Bri.
And don't play.
No, you should. You should.
Yeah.
Just don't bet a lot of
for money. You should for money. So check it out. Anybody that's there that's watching, go hang out with Degen. We wish we were there, but we're holding down the fort in California right now.
We miss you. We wish you were here. Yeah, well, you got the California stream, but we'll get us all together.
Yeah, we'll get something going out here when we can. That'll be a good time.
Yep, exactly. Bri, thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks. Next time I'll cap the rate record, but maybe that'll win if they don't cap it that high.
Right? Yeah. It might be better this way.
If this wins, never cap it before.
The more I'm apt to lose.
All right,
y'all. Good luck.
Tell everybody we said hello and have fun.
Yes.
See you.
All right. Good luck, everybody.
All right, bye, everybody out there. Good luck.